Thank you very much, Steve. Aloha, everyone. Aloha. It's always great to be home, and it's good to see so many friends. I want to recognize Rai Barbin representing Senator Inouye, Senator English, Senator Baker, Representative Bertram and McKelvey, and I especially want to recognize Representative Suki, who has been with this project. I don't want to say you're old, Joe, but he has stayed the course on this project for a very, very long time and continued to get this incremental funding on the state side, and I appreciate that very much. I also want to thank Steve Goodfellow, not just for being the company on this project, but for being a great citizen of Maui. There are a lot of business people, there are a lot of competent business people around. A few of them can even finish projects on time. But I think there are a few that can match the philanthropy that Steve shows to the people of Maui and Hawaii, and I appreciate that very much. I also wanted to dwell a minute on Abe Wong, who most of you don't know at all, and he came up and gave his remarks, and he represents the feds and all this money that they brought, and that's true. But Abe has been a good friend to me over a very, very long period of time, and my liaison here on Maui, George Kaya, and I were talking, and George used to be my public works director when I was mayor, and Abe was a huge help to us in those early days. I think it was in the early 1990s when we had this project out in Lahaina, and the project basically was rip up Lahaina town, relay all the lines, and then put the town back together again. It was a tough, tough project, and Abe came in at that time with the concept of partnering, and that was the first time I recognized the critical nature of people coming together at that very, very early stage. Until today, whenever we have an issue, Abe will come up to the office and talk me through something that I may have a problem with, and I've appreciated your friendship very much, Abe, through the years. It means a lot to me. And Abe commented to me when he saw this big crowd today, he said, "Now I realize how important this project is to the people of Maui." And I do think it's important for government people, all of us, to get out of the office, get out of the government buildings, and come and talk with the real people. And I think Brennan made that point clearly when he said, it's not building the roads we want to build as government people, it's building the roads and the transportation systems and the communities that you would like to see. So, Abe, thank you very much. Now, because you've heard so much about the road already, and I can't really add too much about it, I want to talk more broadly about the economy because it's the #1 issue on everyone's mind, and I don't want to pass up such an important audience as this one to be able to further this dialogue about the economy, the future of the county and the state. But I do want to, before I talk in specifics about that, I want to thank Madge Schaefer and the members of my Governor's Advisory Committee here on Maui who helped keep me informed along with George on the issues. Where's Madge sitting? Madge, thanks a lot for all your work. Well, everyone's talking about the economy, whether it's the price of oil or it's a subprime crisis or the credit markets. It's on everyone's mind. It affects all of us. It affects us as individuals, families, businesses, and yes, it affects the government as well. Everyone wants to know where things are headed, and sometimes it's hard to get a clear picture because of the constant negative drumbeat of the national media in particular in their discussion about the mainland and the world economies, much of which does not apply to the state of Hawaii. I like to deal in facts, not in opinion when I'm making decisions, and I think everyone should make their decisions on that same basis. It's important to ensure that residents have accurate information because their attitudes need to be based on a complete, accurate picture of our economy. Attitudes shape actions, and it's all those individual actions that affect the economy. Some saw the closure of Molokai Ranch, the shutdown of Aloha Airlines and ATA as clear signs of broad trouble in the economy. But these actions were not connected to the status of Hawaii's economic fundamentals in any respect. The decisions of those three companies resulted from varying factors, including long-standing, well-known, and broad-based opposition on Molokai to the kind of project that was proposed, soaring fuel costs that are worldwide, competition, and loss of a military contract in the case of ATA. While it's true that we are no longer enjoying the robust, dynamic economic growth of the 2003 to 2006 period, this slowdown that has occurred, and it's a slowdown in the rate of growth, it's not like the 1990s, for those of us who are old enough to remember those days. Those days when the irrational foreign investments created a bubble that was bound to burst. That's simply not the case today. The Council on Revenues projects that we will realize a 3.9% rate of growth in state revenues through fiscal year '08, which is just about a month away. And while this 3.9% is down from previous years, it still shows revenue growth. The Council on Revenues will meet this Thursday, and my opinion is that they will not change their estimate through the end of the year. The Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism estimates that real gross state product will increase by 2.3% and 2.2% in '08 and '09, respectively.